you're still alive, which is better than a lot of your
Well,
contemporaries.
exactly. Better to be above ground than below ground. Yes.
Now, I know you can't answer this, but someone wants to know, why did Ken Shamrock get the big push in WWE and you didn't get quite the big push? Was there a
Well,
reason?
again, I would simply just say that when you look at the difference between both of us physique wise, Ken is, he's all muscled on up, and you two kids could be muscled on up if you just you take your vitamins and drink your milk and yeah. I'll just ironically say it like that because again, there's certain things you could do. There's certain gifts that you could get from your parents. Okay, there are certain gifts. That you can give yourself by working hard in the gym, eating right, in the whole 9 yards. And then there's all kinds of other stuff that you could do just if you have a nice little chemistry lab. So there's different routes of what you can do to achieve, but then you don't see a whole lot of bodybuilders that live to a ripe old age.
No, and Hogan, I mean, he passed away at 71, but there was a lot of people saying that they're surprised he even made it that long
Well,
with some of the supplements he took.
well, it's funny. I mean, well, Hannibal, you'd be involved in professional wrestling. It's kind of a sick and twisted type of a work area, a profession. There's even different. I would hear different groups talking as to how long they would think this person would live, how long that person would live, and I'm thinking, wow, they're actually taking wagers on people that are still alive right now, but they're not giving them all that many more years above them, and they're not going to be dying of age old. They just got too old, and their heart finally gave out. Well, their heart might be giving out in different reasons because they're packing on way too much muscle, and they're taking they might be snorting a line of this or that and the whole 9 yards, and then like going and gone poof.
Yeah. And who would have guessed even Billy Graham outlived Hogan by about 9 years, but he wasn't doing the snorting stuff. He was definitely doing the
Yeah,
steroids, but yeah, I think it's a good lesson what you're saying there. That overall, it seems to catch up to the more of the bodybuilders ones sooner. So if you're younger, looking at the longevity issues, I mean, there's a reason the Road Warriors didn't live into their 70s, sadly.
yeah. No, again, that's where you just got to look at the how did a lot of these athletes and how did they pass and due to what? So it's
Yeah.
my goal is still 125.
Were you surprised about Matthew Granahan, the King of Connecticut,
Yes.
passing away a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
know you were one of the guys he called quite often.
yeah. Well, and it was. I'm still on. There's a string of people, and I mean, even as you just asked that question, I'm just hopping over here real quick to see. No, I don't have any more newest updates, but I'd already had a couple text messages even from earlier today because there's they're really going into a lot of question as to was this actually a suicide? And again, when people were even suggesting, I'm thinking the guy never had any. I mean, he might bitch and complain here or there, but I mean the same standard bitch and complaint that most people would have in life. But I kiddingly said, I would believe it if it was a jealous husband that maybe had shot him or something like that. But suicide, no, never. So I just, I'm just curious as to has he had any recent physicals examination? Did he have any kind of terminal disease or I have no idea. So last I know, there is some sort of a investigation that is taking place, and I don't know what the current results are of that.
Yeah, it was strange because I filmed an independent movie here in Kansas last week, and the last communication I had with him was 2 weeks prior to that. He sent me his plane ticket to show me, hey, I'm actually going to this don't fill this role, I'm going to do it. So to me, he's the type of guy that he would have at least done the role and then maybe killed himself, just because he's the type that would like to have
Yeah.
himself remembered. So I just
Yeah.
found that a little weird that he'd actually go and buy the plane ticket.
Well, I
And
mean, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of a movie did you just
he
put
was
together?
he was going to be playing a police in it. It was kind of like a wrestling slash vampire one. Tank Abbott, your good friend Tank Abbott, was actually in the movie.
What kind of a character role did he play in that?
He played a barroom fighter.